Friends, welcome back to our channel Learn with Gigs. In this video, I have invited Sutapa Banerjee, who have recently cracked a job at Google as a data analyst apprentice. This video will be very important for you all. You will get to learn how as a fresher you can also get recruited at Google. We will discuss about her resume which helped her to get recruited. We will discuss about the interview calls, and also at the last we will discuss about the salary which one can expect in this kind of big company. So without any further delay, let's start the video. And before that, if you're new to the channel, then do subscribe it and hit the bell icon to stay updated with all the coming useful videos. As well as you can also follow me on Instagram, Learn with Gigs page for regular short videos and job related updates. And friends, do congratulate her in the comment box because it's not a joke to get recruited at Google. Hello Sutapa, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you, Shashank?
I'm also doing good. So thank you so much for coming and giving your time. So Sutapa, I have already given a short introduction about you to the audience. So let's start with the first question. So can you tell the audience about your academic qualification as well as about your past experience you hold?
Sure. So I'm basically from Asansol, West Bengal. I completed my schooling and college from there. I completed my engineering in electronics and communication, and I completed in 2016. After that, I started working in TCS as front end developer. I worked there around 3.5 years as a front end developer. So after that, again I switched my company and I joined Value Labs. There also I worked less than 2 years, but due to there actually I had to work in night shifts for 2 years almost. So due to that, my health suffered and I resigned from my last organization. During the COVID also, like I was working from home only, but in 2022 I resigned from my last organization. And yeah, so after that 2 years of career gap was there, and now I joined Google as data analyst apprentice.
So throughout your 5 year experience, you were doing coding, right? You were there completely in the coding department, right?
Yeah, so in TCS actually I worked in Angular, and I was working in coding only. But when I joined Value Labs, there actually they gave, like, they interviewed me for Angular only, but they gave me some tool based development.
Internal
So
tools, right?
yeah, internal tool based development, and that why I had to work with US based clients, so night shifts were there. So that's the reason I resigned.
So after that, you said that you have 2 years of gap, right? So
Yes.
what did you do in those 2 years, and then how did you like? Why did you choose to upgrade to data analyst skills?
Okay, so when I was working in TCS, I worked in Angular and Angular JS basically, not in the updated version. There itself, I felt ki I'm lagging behind. Okay, so I have to upgrade. Like when I joined Value Labs again, I was doing something else, not even an Angular also. So when I got the chance in career gap, I first thought I was recovering from my health issues and all. So that took me almost 5 6 months. After that, I started thinking that I have to restart my career again. So what I have done is first I started with the Angular above version and React JS as well. But for some reason I didn't like it that much, and I tried Salesforce as well, and data analysis related skills, Python and all. Everything I tried, but finally somehow this data analysis related skills like Python, SQL, and mathematics and all this clicked me. So I continued with this journey only.
So till how much time did you learn and prepare these skills?
I would say around 1 year, as I was learning from free resources. I took so much time because it was not structured. So I was learning from W3 School, then Python.org, and some free resources and article and all. And then I was practicing in HackerRank, LeetCode and all. So I was
Hmm.
watching. In fact, I was watching YouTube playlist and all also. So it took so much time for me.
That's good that you have completely learned it specifically from YouTube. So that's very good.
Yeah, actually, that time I thought I resigned from my organization. So, earning is not there, so I have to save, and time is there for me. So I thought, why not?
One thing I forgot to mention to the audience. So what we can learn from Sutapa is that she was doing night shift for around 2 years. So because of that, she was not well, and after that she had to resign. So we should learn it that if some company is offering you night shift, then think about it twice or thrice before joining because it can ultimately affect your health. Now let's talk about like how did you get to know about this data analyst apprenticeship program at Google?
So I was just learning in the free resources. I was not at all aware of this opportunity till last year August. So in the August, I have seen some podcasts, like two three podcasts related to this apprenticeship program from Google. And then I saw one content also in LinkedIn. Someone shared that these things are there in Google. So from there itself I got to know about this opportunity. And from September October only I was keep looking, like every day or every alternate day I was searching in Google career portal itself that anything is there or not. So I think last year October or November it came and I applied in Google portal itself.
So it's a 2-year program, right?
Yes, it's a 2 year program, and it's not only for data analytics. And there are two more tracks also there: digital marketing and project management also there.
So if I talk about specifically for data analytics, so what is the eligibility criteria for this particular? Like anybody can or any fresher can apply?
Yes, so there was mentioned 0 to 1 year experience, like 1 year is max for relevant experience, and
Okay.
anybody can apply. There is nothing like engineers only; anybody can apply.
And one more thing, like since you had 5 years of experience, then you had 2 years of gap, and then you applied to this. So you were not fresher, but you had 2 years of gap, and then you applied. So you were also considered for this particular position, right?
Yes, because they considered me because at first of all I don't have relevant experience. I'm having different experience, and again I have 2 years of gap, so I'm restarting my career again. So that's the reason. It's like for me also it's entry level only. So that's the
Hmm.
reason
So
they
that's a very good
chose me.
point to learn because if you have a career gap also, even if you have worked in some companies and now you have a career gap of 2 years or so, so you can also apply for this particular position at Google. Now, like how one can apply for this particular position at Google? Like where is the what is the portal name, and from where particular they have to go and apply through this?
Sure. For this I'll share my screen and I'll show. If you search Google apprenticeship only in Google itself, you will come to this page: build your future with Google. If you click on this, we'll scroll down, and here you can see like so many apprentice program is there. For India you can see data analytics apprenticeship is there, and digital marketing and others also there. Yeah.
Okay.
So here
So.
only you have to click, but
Hmm.
right now there is no opening, so you can see job not found, but in future definitely it will be there. Mostly it will come around October November
Okay, so
every
that's a
year.
good point for all the freshers that if they want to apply, they just have to check out the portal around October and they will find the position. So, Sutapa, now let's talk about how one can prepare resume to apply for this particular position because like anybody can apply as a fresher, right? So, how to craft
Yes.
resume so that it is impactful and it gets selected. So, can you talk about it in detail?
The most important thing what I have seen is the project. Okay. uh, like project is very important thing. I'll show you like my resume. I'll share my screen again. Okay, so I kept it very simple, nothing fancy. So I gave just my name, whatever my designation, my last designation, and location. Then I gave some contact details. And please give your GitHub link or portfolio link or LinkedIn link, whatever is available, wherever you are, you know, active, wherever you are putting your projects. Please give those links. Those are very important. Then I came to the skills part, whatever I have like worked on, or I learned about it and did the project, whatever skills I know I just mentioned in the skills part. Then straight I came to the project. In the project section also, whatever is my best project. Okay, I have done maybe 6 or 7 projects, whatever is best, maybe 2 or 3. Please mention those, and give the link also. Mention some points whatever you have done and all, and mention the either portfolio link or GitHub link, whatever is available to you. So I have given 3 projects. One is with the feature engineering, then hypothesis testing, and one is with the Excel. So for Excel, you can see I have given LinkedIn. Actually, this project I shared in the LinkedIn, so I gave this. After that, I have experience in certain companies, so right, but this is not relevant experience, right? So I just mentioned the company and duration, that's it. And last thing, I whatever my highest qualification, that is BTech. And that's it I have done, like nothing extra, just the point, to the point.
And I've also heard that like some like people need to mention about I think cover letter also, right? So is it important or is it necessary to like have you done that?
Actually, in the application, it was like optional, so I haven't uploaded, like while I was applying, I didn't. But I believe that you should apply, but I didn't apply. Better to apply for, like, better to submit cover letter as well. If your projects are not that good, or maybe you are not that much confident about your project, so it's better to submit the cover letter as well.
So we need to submit a
But it's
resume
not
and
mandatory.
okay, and we need to submit a cover letter which is optional, but ideally we should submit both the things, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, but most important thing is you should share your, LinkedIn profile and portfolio profile, GitHub profile, all those. As I already shared my LinkedIn profile, I'll show you. So you should optimize your LinkedIn profile. Why? Because so many recruiters and whoever is recruiting, they will come to your LinkedIn profile and definitely they will check what you are doing, your experiences, your projects and skill set and all. So it's always good to have good optimized LinkedIn profile. Do the basic things like keep a good profile
Professional.
picture and cover picture, yeah. And please mention your title also. Please mention whatever you have done or something, like whatever your experience, and if you have any past experience also, please mention that. And after that, in the about section also, please mention why, like what exactly, like what is your profile, okay, what are the expertise you have, whatever you have learned, what the knowledge you hold. So please mention all those things. Top skills also you can mention. And this is very important, featured, okay. In featured section, whatever your best thing, like whatever best achievement you have done, or maybe some good projects you have done, please mention here. This is very, maybe you have posted so many content, so featured section is best, whatever best you have given to this LinkedIn. This is very important thing. After that, experience, definitely whatever experience you have, please mention that. And education again, and certifications and skill set, definitely. It's good to have recommendation also. I don't have right now, but definitely it's good to have recommendation, especially if you work somewhere, or maybe you're fresher, you can like get recommendation from your professors, or any internship if you have done. Those are very, very helpful.
So that's a very good point raised by Sutapa, that you have to optimize your LinkedIn profile whenever you're applying for any kind of position in any company. Okay, Sutapa, now let's talk about the interview process, how the things happen, what all things are asked in the interview, and how one should prepare for it. So let's talk about those things in detail.
So first thing is, I applied in November, first or second week in the, yeah, first or second week in 2023. After that, after 2 weeks in November, third week, I got one mail. I received one mail from Google that I have to appear for online test in November end. So I appeared for the online test in November end. There they asked mostly about logical reasoning, aptitude, like mathematics and all. I would say easy to medium level questions were there. After that, again 2 weeks gap were there. So in December second week, I received one call from Google HR, and they said I got selected for the next round. So my next round will be like my next round was telephonic interview. So there they asked me mostly about behavioral questions. Okay. First, like what my introduction and past experience, whatever I done. And then they asked me mostly about, behavioral questions mostly. After the second round, I got again one mail next week itself, second week of December itself. I got mail that I selected for the next step, and again I have to appear for two more round and virtual interview. So they gave me, like, in the third week I appeared for both interviews. Okay, third week of December. Yeah. So on that interview, virtual interview, they asked mostly about, first the introduction and part, like past experiences and all, some behavioral questions, but mostly they asked me about scenario based questions and Google product related questions also. So they will not directly ask about SQL, like technical stuff, but they will see how you are, like how deep you can go, how your analytical thinking process, problem solving skills, all those things they will check. And they will give some, they'll ask some Google product related things also. Is there any Google product that you don't like, or maybe you don't like the feature? So how you will approach, okay, if you join Google, so how you will approach, how to solve that problem, what else you can give, like what else you can do to the product, like that, your
So third
analytical
round,
thinking.
so third round as well as fourth round, both the rounds, these type of things only were asked, right? As you said.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
that means, if I talk about the technical front, no Power BI, no Tableau, no Python, no SQL, no Excel, right? Everything was based on analytical thinking, your problem solving skill set.
They didn't ask me. I'm not sure about others, but yeah, they didn't ask me. So in February first week, I got call again from Google HR that I got selected.
So overall, it is a around 3 months process in general, I can say.
2.5 months though, for sure. And
Okay, so as a fresher, like we are always curious, like how a person working at Google as a data analyst can be offered a salary, right? So if I talk about a particular figure as a salary, so the average salary of a data analyst or as a Power BI developer is between 3.5 lakhs to, I would say, 5 lakhs per annum in India. So a fresher at Google as a data analyst can expect more than that.
yes, they can expect more than this average range. And yeah, this is like, again, data analytics apprentice, so definitely they are giving more than this, and you have to work for 2 years. So this is very, very good opportunity in terms of monetary, in terms of growth and all. You will
Brand
get to know
value.
so many things.
So Sutapa, thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience as well as all the things in detail. It will definitely help a lot of people who want to work at Google.
Thank you so much, Shashank. You gave me this opportunity. This is like, I'm very lucky to, get this opportunity. Thank you so much, and all the best to you.